was an Argonian maid could do that with her tail. Oh, hello. Greetings and salutations. Let's just get rid of this. I'm Darkelfguy, and this is Kingdoms of Resdayn. Today we're doing a bit of a tutorial series over the various functions and uses of the plugins here on Kingdoms of Resdayn. So if you're a new player, or perhaps you're looking to join the server, you might find some of this interesting. Now here we are in the spawn tower. This is where everyone starts out in Kingdoms of Resdayn. I know it's not much to look at, but you know, there's a city outside those windows, and we'll get to it in a moment. So when you start out, there's a few things you can do right away. Like, you can have a fishy stick. In fact, I highly recommend you get a fishy stick. This is the first bit of food you'll get on the server. You can grab a few fishy sticks if you want, but do try to only grab the ones you need, because, you know, be considerate of the players that come after you. Don't grab more than 5, I would say. Leave some there for the rest. Now you might be wondering, what's a fishy stick? Well, it's a funny story actually. The fishy stick has its origins back on the Bethesda forums during the early 2000 years and late 1990s, when they were developing Morrowind. The fishy stick was a form of greeting to new users on the Bethesda forums. They would be given a fishy stick upon their welcome thread. So we've just sort of brought it over here to Kingdoms of Resdayn because we are a Morrowind Minecraft server. That, I should say, a Morrowind themed Minecraft server. You can build whatever you want on this server. It's just we are, technically speaking, Morrowind themed. Now over here we have the player guide. Now this is one of the first things you should grab upon joining the server. These chests are filled with player guides, and this contains vital information, like it has a command list, it has tutorials in it, which of course we're doing some of these tutorials today in this video, but nevertheless it is useful to have it in book form as well. It also has the rules, which are very important, and we'll get to in a second. But first, let's go over our first bit of the tutorial, the copybook command. Now you can type /copybook, and this will copy any book that's in your hand. You'll just get an instant duplicate of that book. And you can do this as many times as you want. It's completely free. You can also do copy books, as in plural, and then you type the number you want. Like, say, you want 18. There we go. Well, that's more than 18, actually. That looks more like it was 180. But, more on a detail, I suppose. More on a detail. But anyways, on to the rules. Now, in Kingdoms of Resdayn, we strongly dislike griefing. I mean, you should respect other players' structures. Now, we are not going to ban you for minor grief. I mean, if you accidentally hit a block and knock it out, we don't care about that. We'll fix it. You don't have to worry about it. But deliberate and extensive grief will be punishable by a ban almost immediately. Otherwise, if you just do a little bit of grief just because you don't know the rules, we'll just give you a warning the first time, a temporary ban the second time, and if you do it a third time, well, clearly you're not going to learn your lesson, so we're going to have to ban you completely then. For those of you who don't know what grief is, that is, well, destroying anything that isn't yours, really. Like, say, taking this fence post and just going to town with it, and then destroying all the other fence posts. You know, that sort of deal. Now, it should also be mentioned that Kingdoms of Resdayn is not a PvP server. Now, we do allow player versus player combat if both players agree to it. Otherwise, no, don't do it. We don't tolerate murderers here. I mean, it's the same system as the grief. You'll be warned the first time, given a temporary ban the second time, and banned permanently the third time. Of course, that's only assuming that the other player that you've killed files a complaint. If they don't file a complaint and they let it go, then I guess you're just sort of off scot-free in that case. But anyway, our other rules include no trash talking. Now, what do we mean by trash talking? What we mean is, well, basically just saying a bunch of curse words and just being rude to other players in chat, doing that a whole lot. We don't really like that sort of behavior. We are a friendly server. We have friendly players. We don't really tolerate vocal abuse of them. It's not helpful. Now, again, same system. We'll give you a warning the first time, a temporary ban the second, and a permanent ban. It should be noted that whatever you say in private chat, which is party chat or whispers, we don't particularly care about. You can say whatever you want there, assuming, again, the other player doesn't file a complaint about what you said. And, let's see. We have a couple of other rules here. Let me see. Nope. Oh, there it is. What? No griefing, we did that. Oh yes, no breaking and entering. Bypassing a locked or private doors owned by other players is not tolerated. That's breaking and entering. If a player doesn't want their structure open to the public, you should respect that. You shouldn't go around looking for some other way inside, or creating a way inside. That's just downright rude, really. No stealing. Now, sometimes our players are too trustworthy, and they don't lock their chests. That doesn't mean you can waltz into their homes and take whatever's in their chests willy-nilly. No, we don't do theft here. This is a friendly server. No theft. Again, same 3 strikes you're out policy. No item duplication. There are many methods by which you can accidentally or deliberately duplicate items in Minecraft. Now, we are specifically referring to duplication machines. Designs that are meant to use flaws in Minecraft's design structure in order to duplicate items. No, that's not allowed either. Again, same policy as before. No X-raying. That should be obvious. We do have an X-checker, or an X-ray checker, which basically checks to see if a player is using X-ray software. So, if you're using it, chances are we're going to find out about it one way or the other. So, again, don't do it. We already covered this one, and that one. That seems to be it. So, yeah, those are the important rules. But now that we've gotten that through, let's carry on with the tutorial. And down this way we have the starter shop. This is where you can buy free gear. Now, these are 100% free, and to get them, you can sort of see I'm typing in a command here called shop browse. This shows me what this shop has. It has wooden swords, wooden shovels, wooden pickaxes, wooden axes, wooden hoes. Basically anything you want. Now, to buy one of these items, you type in shop buy wooden sword, for example, and this will give you a wooden sword. And you can do this as many times as you want, because it's free. It's made out of wood, though, so it's not terribly useful, and you can't sell it back for anything. So, keep that in mind. But this is just a nice way to get some supplies to start on the server without much hassle. Now, down this way, just continuing down the spawn tower, basically. We do have a few guides that explain some of the lore of the server. There's a city guide down here, I believe. Right over there. Now, out here is the actual spawn plaza. Now, you can get back to here at any time by typing in /warp Narcissus. Now you can see a full list of warps on the server by typing warp. That'll tell you every warp there is. Now to see a different page of the warp, just type in /warp 2, and that'll get you the second page of the warps, and so on and so forth. Now if you're a new player, you might be interested in just going straight to where you can build. You might not want to go through the entire city, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. We have several warps that take you right out of the city, and you can just go willy-nilly building into the sunset. But first, let's cover a few server functions. Now we do have server NPCs. This is not a player over here, and you can generally tell NPCs if you check to see who's online. Now, how can you check to see who's online? Hit the tab key on your keyboard. See, I'm the only person online right now. That's partly because it's the middle of the day. Everyone's either at work, or school, or, I don't know, still sleeping off the drunken party from the night before. You know, all that sort of nonsense. But since I have nothing better to do, I'm at home doing this video tutorial. Anyways, over here we have the admin shop and the specialty shop. Now these are two very important structures that you'll find in nearly every city, and they basically are service shops. At a service shop you can sell items for money. Like I can type shop sell. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't buy that. Well, let's find something it does buy. Cobblestone. Type shop sell, and there you go. You sold a single cobblestone for cash. And we can see how much cash we have with the /balance command. As you can see, I'm quite rich, but I'm the server owner, so that's to be expected. Now you start out on the server with $50. The primary way to make money is by selling items to shops, or making your own shop and selling items from there, or going to the mob arena and killing waves of mobs, or just going out into the wilderness and killing mobs, and you get money for killing mobs that way too. Now again, you can see what this shop accepts with shop browse. It gives you how much money each item is worth. For example, the cobblestone we sold was only worth 5 cents. That's not going to get you very far, but generally speaking, you'd probably sell a stack of cobblestone instead of just one. And to see additional pages, we type shop browse 2 to see the second page, shop browse 3 for the third page, and so on. Now over here we have the specialty shop, and this is where you can buy items from the server. Now these are typically items that aren't easy to acquire through natural means, or are just well, friendlier to the environment to buy than just go chop down hundreds of trees or whatnot. So you can see here I can choose to buy some spruce planks. Now I can add an integer or a number after this to indicate how many I want, like say 13. That gives me 13 spruce planks. That's 13 times 12 cents for, what is that? That's 100 and no, that's 150 something cents, or about $1.50. Anyways, that's about all the major attractions here in the spawn plaza that you really need to know about. So now let's take a bit of a jaunt over to some of the warps. Now, if you want to get out of the city really quickly, and you don't want to build inside the city, and you just want to get out of here as quick as possible, we have a few warps set up for you in that case. We have /warp North Forest. Now this will take you out of the city, and this is completely open build area. You can build wherever you want and whatever you want outside of the cities in Kingdoms of Resdayn. So long as you're not building, you know, right next to someone else. So you can just run off and build what you want out here. Now, of course, it's this warp has been available for a while, so there's already some player houses out here, but as long as you don't build too close to them, you're okay. And remember to leave them alone. I mean, you can be friendly neighbors if you want, but don't go around stealing their stuff or breaking into their property. And if you get broken into, report it to an administrator right away. We have a grief detection tool, so we can pretty much see who broke into what at what time and track them down and ban them if necessary, or give them a warning. Like here we can see this was built by Seaman 765. Now this tool is only available to administrators. We don't want vigilantes out there seeking their own justice. Leave this to the administrators. It's what we're supposed to do. Also, this railroad will take you back to the capital if you have a minecart. So there's that. Another warp you can go to is South Harbour. Now, I believe someone actually built a town on top of South Harbour, yes. But this is still a good way to get out of the city. You can just sort of run off in this direction, away from the small town. You can pretty much go wherever you want. Another warp is /warp new biomes. Now what this will do is this will take you to an area that is 1.7 plus generated. That means it has all the new biomes, like the savannah here is where you start out. Again, someone built a city awfully close to this warp, but you can just run off in any direction and it'll pretty much be all the new biomes you've come to expect. And some people have been quite rude and haven't replanted the trees or gotten rid of the treetops. They just left these here. That's a bit trashy, I think. Oh my, what are they doing over here? Again, you can build whatever you want, so sometimes you see large construction projects like that and so forth. I'm going to take you to another warp, which is the market district. And I'm going to show you how to create a shop. Wait, this isn't the right way. Oh, here we are. Now, over here is the Grand Bazaar. Everyone is entitled to a free market stall in the Grand Bazaar. And to claim one, you find one that isn't in use. Yeah, like this one right here. It says free market stall. Now, to claim a market stall, you would, well, first you'd leave a sign for an administrator so that they would know about it, and you can let the administrator set up the shop for you, or you can create it yourself, either way. The advantage of having an administrator do it for you is that it's absolutely free in that scenario. Otherwise, you have to pay a $500 fee for creating a shop. That's sort of the advantage of just getting the administrator to do it instead of doing it yourself. But to create a shop, you would first type shop select. And then with your bare hands, you would select a corner of each shop. Selected this corner. And then now I'm going to go around and select the other corner. Now it has to be a lower and upper corner, so it creates a 3 diagonal space. Now we have you've got our 2 corners selected. One was selected with the left mouse button and the other with the right mouse button. And then you type shop create shop name. In this case I'm going to go with Dog's Fun House. Not Foon, Fun House. Yes. There you go. Now to add an item to the shop, you would type /shop add with the item you're... Oh right, I'm not in a shop right now. Quite right. I have to be in the shop first. I would type /shop add to add an item to the house. and then I type shop set sell spruce planks, and then the price. That's a huge markup, by the way, $1.15 for a single block of spruce planks. That's never going to fly, but you know, this is just a tutorial. You can also type in shop set buy. Now what shop set buy does is it allows players to sell that item to you, which means you would collect the item from players and it would appear in your shop inventory, and then you could remove the item from your inventory at any time in order to get the extra items sold to you. Now, in order to get the money from your shop, you need to remember to do shop set owner. In this case, my name is Darkelfguy, so we're going to do shop set owner Darkelfguy. And then the shop is now under my ownership. Now if I wanted to get rid of this shop, I could just type /shop, /shop remove. Oh dear. Delete. Sorry, it's /shop destroy. It's been a while, I suppose. And that would be the end of that. Now, there is one other warp I need to show you, and that is the player plots district. Now, if you don't want to run out into the wilderness right away, and you just want to stay inside city limits, and not have to worry about hostile mobs, because there are no hostile mobs inside city limits, you can type /warp player plots district, and that'll take you here, where we have community farms available. You can just immediately go right out here, grab whatever you want, remember to replant, and we have animals over here. Don't forget to breed them after you kill them. And we have a public mines and also a public tree farm. That's down this way, actually. There you can see the public tree farm. We don't want you chopping down the jungle. That's a jungle preserve area. We rather like our jungles. I mean, you can chop them down elsewhere, but not around the city limits. Here you can chop down trees for your wood supply. Just remember to replant. And down this way, we have the Gnosis public mines. And over here you can just sort of mine wherever you want. These tunnels have been pre-built for you. In fact, I believe this goes all the way down to bedrock level, so you can just sort of choose your level to mine down towards, and well, just mine to your height's desire without having to worry about anything else. It's all good. And now, where you can build. Now, we have plots you can choose from over here. It's not quite as open built. Like, you can choose this plot if you want to build there, or this plot if you want to build there. It's covered in trees right now. Now, we are expanding the player plots district because, of course, the problem with player plots districts is that they get filled up rather quickly. Here's another empty plot. There's another one over there. And of course, as you can tell, the build quality sort of differentiates a little bit. But the advantage of being in a player plots district is that you're automatically in a community, instead of being isolated all the time out in the middle of nowhere. Now that it is night time, I'd like to show you how mob bounty works, which is the system by which you make money by killing mobs. So let's go to back to North Forest, and let's find some things to kill. Now, normally there's mobs everywhere, but not seeing a whole lot at the moment. There we go. There's some good ones. There we go. See, I got $1.24 for that. Now, if you die, your stuff isn't lost. In fact, you can type /back in order to get back to where you died if you die. Now, it can also be used to go back to previous locations. Like, before I teleported to North Forest, I was standing right here. So I got taken back here. Or I can /back again, and I'm immediately where we were just a moment before. Now, when you die, your stuff is saved in a chest. I would demonstrate that, but I'm in creative mode right now, so it's a bit difficult. Perhaps another time. But basically, your stuff would be saved in a private chest that you can then access again. You don't lose anything. However, you are charged $1.50 each time you use the /back command. So keep that in mind. It's not free, so you're going to have to make a little bit of money. But as I just shown you, we made, what was it? $5 just by killing a few zombies? $1.50 isn't going to cost you much of anything. It's just, you know, sort of to make death penalized, instead of just something you don't really think about. Now, the money amounts are rather random, and they differ between mobs. Now, a zombie can never drop more than $3, whereas a skeleton can drop as much as $5. And a witch, I'm not sure how much a witch drops. I think it's maybe $10. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's $10, alright. That was a hefty profit right there. Now, anyway, there's a few other commands I should show you. If you're new to Minecraft, you might not know this, but to get into the chat window, you would hit enter. I'm sorry, T. You would hit T, not enter. I was thinking about a different game. You'd hit T. And to talk in Minecraft, you just, you know, you type whatever you want in here. It's like, hey. I just say, hey, to everyone on the server, basically. Now, if you wanted to message a particular player, you would type message player name, replace player name while the player name is, and then you can type, hey, how are you? And that would be your message sent to them. There's no one by that name, of course, so it doesn't send. And then after you initiate a private conversational message, you can type /r to continue the message without having to type out the entire player name. There is also a mail system. /mail read lets you read all the mails you get. And then /mail send, player name. There you go. You just sent a mail to to another player, and that occurs whether or not they're online or offline. So they'll get that message as soon as they log in again. Now, let's see. I believe the next thing to show you would be the mob arena. Now, you can get to the mob arena by typing /ma join. And the price to join is of $100, so keep that in mind. Now here you can choose which sort of class you want to be. Just right click the class you want and hit this iron block when you're ready to join. So I've flagged myself as ready, but there's not enough players to start. You can't do this solo. You have to have 2 players in order to play in the mob arena. This is to prevent various sorts of abuse, basically. Now, if you're done in the arena, you can just sort of type MA leave, and you'll leave the arena and get teleported back wherever you were, and all of your items will, of course, be restored to you. Now, the point of the mob arena really is to survive for as many waves as you can. The initial charge is $100. If you can survive 2 or 3 waves, you're going to make that back with some profit. And if you get all the way to, like, say, wave 17 or something, well, you're even better off. Now, I believe that's about all I want to cover for this tutorial. There are some things I didn't mention, Namely, I didn't go over the citizens and quest mods because I don't really know them that well. Subconscious is in charge of citizens and quests. So if you got a question about that, you should ask him. And I didn't go over runecraft because, well, runes, there's hundreds of runes that you can use, and they give you various abilities. And to be honest, I don't really know that much about them. So I'm going to leave that for the players to explain. Our players are very friendly. If you ask them a question, they'll be sure to answer, I imagine. Anyway, that about wraps it up for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, do please give us a like and maybe subscribe for future server videos. We will be doing a tour of Narcissus again in the future. But for now, that's it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.